Each week, Berkshire South holds a community supper for people from all walks of life to come and share a table. The meal was started back in 2009 as a way for people to connect in a time of need. 11 years later, the meal happens every week, and people come together who are seeking respite from isolation from the rural community in which we live, and they need a little bit of extra help getting food on the table at times.
My husband works part-time. I work part-time, and that supplements our Social Security. We're both on a fixed income, so we come here. That really, really helps.
The meals are prepared each week by local chefs from the area. We provide them with a small budget of $2 per person to try to serve a healthy, high-quality meal to our members and our guests. We've had chefs come from John Andrews Restaurant or Aroma Bar and Grill or 20 Railroad Street Public House. Some of the best restaurants in the Berkshires are coming out to serve dinner.
It helps everybody. It helps the group homes because they have a lot of kids and adults that need the attention, they need the nutritious foods.
We often see people that are coming to us that are seniors. We see young families. We see people who are both financially struggling and just struggling to get through the day sometimes. And we see also a number of people from our community of individuals with disabilities and people coming from group homes with their caregivers. So you really never do know how many people are going to be coming or who is going to be seated next to you at the table.
And there's nothing more rewarding than sitting down with a bunch of people that you don't even know and make friends.
We serve about 125 people, a beautiful meal where everyone can connect.
It blows my mind to know that all these people are getting fed. And all it is, if you want to make a donation, if you have a couple of dollars, just throw it in the box.
To make this program happen, it costs over $29,000 a year, but the program is completely reliant upon funds from sponsors and underwriting supporters and donations from our members of the community. We are beyond grateful that Greylock Federal Credit Union has been a part of this program for so many years now. They've helped to put over 6,000 meals on the table each year, and without that support, it couldn't happen. People banking with Greylock really have to understand that they're supporting those meals. The experiences people have while they're at dinner are full of joy, and whether they know it or not, they are being built up as a community.
Everybody has a good time. Everybody gets a nutritious meal. Everybody meets other people. Everybody enjoys themselves.
I've seen exchanges between people who would have just never happened before had it not been for the community supper. These organic experiences happen in a way that just both fill you with joy yourself, but also collectively we see how that essence of building community and common purpose can happen so naturally when you just break bread together. It's a beautiful experience.
I currently run Triple Play program. It's a 3-component program. It exercises the mind, the body, and the soul. This year, we have had an average of 80 kids plus in our program.
I feel like the Triple Play program is an amazing program. It's extremely important to the youth because some that come to the Boys and Girls Club come from households that don't have parents that can cook a meal every single night.
Triple Play program is actually a great opportunity for kids because after school I get to eat good food.
I keep the kids active at least 30 to 60 minutes throughout the day.
For exercise in the program, we can do basketball, swim, fitness center, little gym, and the pit.
We have great role models that come in, our guest speakers like Officer Derby, and they talk about their life experiences and they talk about what's going on, not just in their world, but what they can relate to the children.
Whenever a guest speaker comes in, it's very interesting.
The youth get to see upstanding members of the community coming in and sharing their experience, giving the youth some hope and showing them that with enough hard work, you can achieve your dreams and goals.
The mind component of Triple Play is our power hour, 30 minutes to 60 minutes throughout the day, homework or they have a school project, anything they need to get done. And we have high school kids that like to help out the younger youth and our college students that actually come back and they either volunteer their time or they're our employees that like to help out the high school kids.
To me, it's a why not kind of question. Why wouldn't you want to have a free meal that's served by caring and loving people here at the Boys and Girls Club?
Why wouldn't you come? It's free food and you get to chill.
Triple Play touches every single one of our kids' lives. They know that this place is a safe haven for them. Kamani Harley, when he started out, at first It was a wild ride, but now we're here to a point. He's a senior in high school, and just to see his growth, I'm happy that I got to enjoy that experience with him. These kids get to come in here and it feels safe. They get to come in here and they get to finish their homework. They get to join in social recreation with their friends or newfound members of the club. I've been to many different organizations around the country. I've had the pleasure of seeing their AAA program in action. Our program is ahead of the game. If it wasn't for Greylock, this program wouldn't be possible. And I just want to say thank you to Greylock. Thank you for helping us. Hopefully we can keep this partnership going.
What do you have to lose by going to AAA? Why wouldn't you want to be around people that care about your well-being?
My name is Bonnie George, and I don't want to be defined by this, but I am homebound. The Meals on Wheels program has been a godsend to me. I'm unable to prepare a meal for myself on a regular daily basis. To have a meal all prepared for me ahead of time is a blessing. It's just a blessing.
My name is Chris McLaughlin, and I am proud to serve as the Executive Director of Elder Services. And I think one of the things that I learned very early on certainly is how important meals and our senior nutrition program are to residents of Berkshire County. We have been operating our own kitchen since 1994, so we're now in our 25th year, and very proud of that. And earlier this year, we served our 6 millionth meal.
My name is John Philpott. I'm the board chairman of Elder Services Board of Directors. This is one of the very important programs that Elder Service does help to organize and promote.
On an average day of late, our kitchen is producing 875 meals.
But we cannot do that unless we have some very, very good support from the community.
Meals on Wheels gets me a hot meal every day and gives me company in and out of my front door every day. It would be pretty lonely if I didn't see that special little face coming through the door. That's really important.
It's not just about receiving a well-balanced meal that's made very thoughtfully. I would say equally as important is the human interaction that they're going to have with their driver every day. It's really heartwarming to see the kinds of relationships that develop and how both the driver and the consumer really look forward to that interaction.
My meals are delivered by a really wonderful young man. His name is Dave. We have a really good relationship. We get to talk about football and in the football season and the weather as it changes. And if I didn't get to see Dave, I wouldn't see other people every day.
There are so many things that these folks have to deal with in their life. Why can't we do some things that would help them out? Greylock Federal Credit Union certainly has been an instrumental element to keep the Meals on Wheels funding going successfully. I have truly appreciated the continual support that we've got, and I want to sincerely thank you folks, all of you folks, for supporting us.
Really helping people where and when they need it the most. When you think about people being able to remain independent in their own homes, this program, getting a meal, getting a friendly face, is critical to making that happen.
It takes the community funding through Greylock, takes all the volunteers, the drivers, and it takes the Elder Service organization to put it all together.
Without the support of Greylock, we simply could not make this happen. And what truly good work Greylock is helping us do in our community.
They fill a big need. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm super grateful.
is a little different in a virtual meeting. Once logged in, you will see a video screen and a text box. Note, the text box could be beside or below the video window depending on the type of device you are using. When the chairperson requests a motion,
I would like to ask for a motion to waive the readings of last year's annual meeting minutes and to accept them.
simply use the text box to make the motion. Please be patient. This may take several seconds. Stan, we have a motion from Jennifer Jones.
Thank you. Is there a second?
When the chairperson asks for a second, please type second into the text box. This may take some time too. We have a second from Mark Smith.
Any discussion?
If you have any questions about the motion, please use the text box to enter them when the chair asks for any discussion. Note, we will allow an extended time for you to type in your comments. No questions or discussion, Stan.
Please select your vote so we can vote on this motion.
When any questions are answered, the chair will call for a vote. A pop-up screen will appear showing the motion and your voting options. Be sure to hit submit for your vote to register. When finished, click OK. It may take up to a minute to tabulate the voting results. Please be patient. The votes are in, and it's 152 yay and 0 nay.
The motion is carried. Thank you.
Voting is just that easy. Thank you.
Good evening, and welcome to the 85th annual meeting. Thank you for joining us virtually. My name is Stan Walczyk, and I'm the chairman of the board of directors. Before we get started, we'd like to share a video from our president and CEO, John Bissell.
Thank you, Stan, and hello, everyone. I'm John Bissell, speaking to you from the beautiful Colonial Theater in the heart of the Berkshires. We had hoped to meet you all here in person for this annual meeting back in March, but it wasn't meant to be. Thank you for your patience and for tuning in tonight. I first stood on this stage more than 15 years ago when I was invited to join a group of volunteers and help bring the theater back to life. The building had been in mothballs for decades. Birds were flying in and out of the backstage area. But just a few years later, after a ton of hard work and a lot of investment, this beautiful theater had its grand reopening, proving just how resilient our community can be. When times get tough, we roll up our sleeves, we change what we need to change, and we work side by side to build back up what we have lost. Throughout COVID-19, you all have been remarkably resilient. To keep everyone as safe as possible, many of you have learned to bank from your computer, over your phone, or in a drive-through lane. In fact, more than 2,600 folks became active online and mobile bankers in just the past few months, a true sign of your resiliency and flexibility. We've also grown as an organization during this time. We now number nearly 90,000 Greylock members. And because Greylock is a not-for-profit financial cooperative, your active membership is helping to rebuild our community. Because of you, we were able to provide emergency loans to more than 550 local healthcare employees and first responders. We helped save nearly 4,000 local jobs with $31 million in emergency SBA loans to small businesses. Because of you, 3,000 members received temporary relief on their loan payments, and thousands more had fees waived as we helped to keep our local economy afloat. With you, we continue to make community investments that benefit children and families and seniors. I hope you saw the wonderful videos of the 3 partners that we featured before starting our meeting today. If not, please check them out on our website later. Thank you for making that all possible. And I cannot say thank you enough to our 300 incredible Greylock employees. They've shown extraordinary energy and dedication and heart in making sure that all Greylock services have been delivered all of the time, even if it has to be in a different way. They've handled more than 75,000 phone calls, a flood of drive-up traffic, record-breaking mortgage loan volumes, and a surge in requests for new checking accounts and debit cards. Greylock employees have helped a lot of very anxious people make sure they have the right insurance coverage and the right investment strategy in these turbulent times. So thank you to all of our Greylock employees and their families. And to our volunteer board of directors, especially our board chair, Stan Walczyk, thank you for your inspiring leadership and flexibility as we navigate this virtual annual meeting. With the excellent governance of our board, the tenacity of our employees, and the resiliency of our membership, we've been able to weather the first 6 months of the local COVID-19 impact. We know we have a long way to go. The COVID-19 recession will be deep and it will be long, but we will get through it by sticking together. You are resilient and so is your credit union. We've been through tough times before, like when GE moved away and when Sprague shut down in North Adams. We've been through wars and recessions and social upheaval. Our credit union was actually born during the Great Depression. We are credit union folks and we are made of sturdy stuff. And just as we did in responding to those past challenges, today we are hard at work changing the things that need to be changed. We're making sure more folks can navigate online banking, even while we keep those branch lobbies open when possible. 40,000 members now use online banking regularly, and those folks completed 5.5 million transactions just in the month of July. But we need thousands more of you to sign on and get comfortable with online banking so you can have the safety and flexibility too. We need to invest in new training and new technology so we can operate in any environment, come hell or high water. We need to have compassion for people experiencing housing and food insecurity. And we need to make systemic change to achieve true financial inclusion. Working with partners regionally and nationally, Greylock has a role to play in addressing persistent inequality around wealth and income, race and ethnicity, gender and physical ability. We are working hard on these issues, and I appreciate the input and words of encouragement I've received from so many members. There's no getting around it. These are tough times. But we are Greylock, we are financially strong, and we are here for you. Yes, we will have to change and adapt, but our commitment to serving you will not change. The vision we share of a thriving community has never been more important. Our financial coaches are working overtime to help people manage their credit, build up their savings, and achieve home ownership. Our Community Empowerment Center in the Morningside neighborhood of Pittsfield is sharing financial education programs for schools and adults. We're offering special loan programs to help people get through crises in their lives and financial wellness coaching to keep them on track. And our newest branch is under construction in Hudson, New York. It should be open and serving our growing Columbia County membership in a matter of months. We are Greylock. We are strong and growing thanks to you. I appreciate your loyalty and your resilient spirit. That is what will see us through. Thank you so much for being part of our annual meeting tonight. Be well and stay safe.
Thank you, John, for those words of encouragement. I would like to call the 85th annual meeting of Greylock Federal Credit Union to order. And please note the Assistant Clerk, Jamie Ellen Monchecki, has advised me that a quorum is present. There are a few points that I would like to bring to your attention before we move forward. First, if you would like to win a door prize, please make sure you stay online after the meeting concludes. We will be announcing the winners' names and mailing your gift to you. Next, please be advised if you wish to address the assembly throughout the meeting, you must submit your comments or questions in the text box located on this page and make sure that you hit the send button. And last, this is our first virtual annual meeting, and we'd like to take a minute to explain how this will work. In case you missed it before the meeting started, I would like to share a short video explaining how the voting process works.
Voting is a little different in a virtual meeting. Once logged in, you will see a video screen and a text box. Note, the text box could be beside or below the video window depending on the type of device you are using. When the chairperson requests a motion,
I would like to ask for a motion to waive the readings of last year's annual meeting minutes and to accept them.
simply use the text box to make the motion. Please be patient. This may take several seconds. Stan, we have a motion from Jennifer Jones.
Thank you. Is there a second?
When the chairperson asks for a second, please type second into the text box. This may take some time too. We have a second from Mark Smith.
Any discussion?
If you have any questions about the motion, please use the text box to enter them when the chair asks for any discussion. Note, we will allow an extended time for you to type in your comments. No questions or discussion, Stan.
Please select your vote so we can vote on this motion.
When any questions are answered, the chair will call for a vote. A pop-up screen will appear showing the motion and your voting options. Be sure to hit submit for your vote to register. When finished, click OK. It may take up to a minute to tabulate the voting results. Please be patient. The votes are in, and it's 152 yay and 0 nay.
The motion is carried. Thank you.
Voting is just that easy. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to thank and acknowledge our attorney, Dennis Egan, for participating this evening. Cindy Shagri-Raymer, our Vice President and Director of Community Development, who will be one of our facilitators. And a special thank you to the marketing team, the IT department, for making tonight's meeting possible. Now, for the first order of business, I would like to ask for a motion to waive the reading of last year's annual meeting minutes and to accept them. Remember, please use the comment and question section on this page to make a motion to second and for discussion. Can we have a motion?
We have a motion from Julianne Maxwell.
Thank you. Is there a second?
We have a second from Christopher McLaughlin.
Any discussion?
There is no discussion.
Again, for the voting, a pop-up will appear. Please select your vote and remember to hit submit. Can we vote on the motion?
The votes are in, and it's 63 yay and 0 nay.
The motion is carried. Thank you. This year, we have an uncontested election for 4 openings on the board. As I introduce the nominees, I want to say how fortunate we are to have a group of community leaders serving on the board and the supervisory committee. Their backgrounds cover education, healthcare, management, IT, human resource, finance, accounting, community development, and much more. It is this level of diversity that ensures the integrity of our credit union as we continue to move forward. I am pleased to introduce a slate put forth by our nominating committee. John Bissell. As you all know, John is Greylock's president and CEO. Gerard Burke. Jerry is the president and CEO of Hillcrest Education Centers. Kelly Kroc. Kelly is a senior advanced HR advisor for General Dynamics Mission Systems. and Sheila LaBarbera. Sheila is an executive director of the Berkshire County Retirement Board. Now, may I have a motion to instruct the clerk to cast one ballot for the slate of candidates as nominated?
We have a motion from John Law.
Thank you. Is there a second?
We have a second from Jennifer Downs.
Is there any discussion?
There is no discussion.
We can now vote on that motion.
The votes are in, and it's 66 yay and 0 nay.
The motion is carried. Thank you, and congratulations, directors. I would like now to thank the rest of our board of directors, along with the members of the supervisory committee. John Law, Greylock's vice chairman, who recently retired as the VP for Administration and Finance and CFO of Berkshire Community College. Peter Lopez, Greylock's clerk, treasurer, and founder of the Fieldhouse, an indoor sports training facility, and senior manager at LTI Smart Glass. Crystal Blake, project manager at General Dynamics Mission Systems. Colleen Holmes, president and CEO of 18 Degrees. Tyrone Jackson, founder of Big Head Books, LLC, and co-founder of Read or Else. Anthony Rinaldi, executive vice president of Fairview Hospital for Berkshire Health Systems. And our supervisory committee members, Ozias Chuck Vinslet, supervisory committee chairperson and retired CEO of the Credit Unions of Berkshires. Allison Bedard, audit director and at Adelson and Company, PC. Crystal Blake, project manager at General Dynamics Mission Systems. Angelo Borsello, retiree from General Dynamics. And Laurie Broderick Bean, senior accountant at McMahon and Vigent, PC. Thank you, directors and supervisory members, for your commitment to this credit union.
Now we would like to share a pre-recorded video from our chairperson, Stan Walczyk, before we hear the financial reports for 2019.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stan Walczyk, and I had the honor of serving as chairperson of the board of directors for Greylock. I was really looking forward to the original annual meeting at the magnificent Colonial Theater in Pittsfield last March, but that was not meant to be. So today I come to you from another one of my favorite places, Plunkett Lake in Hinsdale. I would prefer that you all be here with me, but I hope that wherever you are, you're happy, healthy, and you're finding ways to celebrate each day safely. As a chair, I had the honor of speaking on behalf of a group of 11 community members with diverse backgrounds and skill sets that come together to serve as your board. We each bring unique perspectives to our shared role. While we recognize and celebrate our differences, the one thing we all have in common is a passion for our community and for the mission of Greylock. I'm very humbled to serve on a board comprised of people with such high levels of integrity, compassion, and stewardship. The members of the board of directors do not get paid, unlike a traditional bank director who receives a hefty stipend for their governance. Greylock board members are volunteers. So why do we do it? We do it because we believe in the credit union philosophy. We believe that Greylock provides more than just financial services. Greylock strives to create a community where everyone has access to financial tools and neighborhood resources they need to thrive. Through sponsoring community activities, underwriting youth programs, partnering with nonprofit agencies, committing to equity and inclusion, and opening a community empowerment center in the heart of one of Pittsfield's least resourced neighborhoods, Greylock believes that opportunity grows here and is leading the way to make sure everyone has the same chance for success. We know that being part of the Greylock family means that we are making a difference in the lives of our loved ones, our friends, and our neighbors. On behalf of the entire board, thank you for allowing us to be part of this collaboration. Now, I'm pleased to introduce to you Michael Stoddard, our Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. Mike.
Thank you, Stan. My role here today is to share the financial condition and results for your credit union for 2019. As I take you back to the end of 2019, clearly your credit union produced another strong year of financial results. We continue to hold the top market share of residential mortgage and auto lending originated in Berkshire County. We had a particularly strong demand for mortgages in 2019, while demand for auto loans trended flat for the first time in many years. Of course, our goal is always to meet your lending needs, and we realize that the level and type of lending needs will fluctuate from year to year. As you can see in the graphic up on the screen, our loans grew by $34 million in 2019 and reached nearly $1.1 billion in total. When we met at our last annual meeting in early 2019, I indicated that we would place a much greater focus on deposit growth, and as a result, we grew deposits by $54 million during the year, which was the highest growth level for us since 2009. This growth in deposits allowed us to fund our new loans while at the same time pay down borrowed funds by $27 million. Our next slide shows that the quality of our loan portfolios remained very healthy. We continue to see improvements with delinquent loans improving to 0.92% of total loans, our lowest level since 2008. And net loan charge-offs dropped down to 0.25% of average loans. This is the lowest level we've seen since 1995. The next chart shows the steady, intentional improvement in capital we have experienced over the past several years, as our regulatory capital ratio grew from 10.44% of total assets to 10.66%. This is our highest level of capital since 1997, which is certainly proving valuable in allowing us to continue to meet our members' needs during the economic challenges that this pandemic has presented so far in 2020. The last chart shows a small dip in our net income from $8.4 million in 2018 to $7.6 million in 2019. Yet this still resulted in the second highest earnings total in the credit union's history. The decline was essentially due to a smaller dividend refund from the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund in 2019 compared to the previous year. At the same time we were achieving strong financial results in 2019, we also completed a number of major projects, including the renovation of our Kellogg Street branch, the creation of our Community Empowerment Center, and the expansion and renovation of our Allendale Operations Center. These projects, plus continued investment in technology and data security raised our property and equipment value up by nearly $5 million. In summary, at the close of 2019, our loan and deposit totals are at new all-time heights. Our earnings amounted to the second best recorded in our history, and capital and asset quality ratios, were the best we've experienced in over a decade. What this means is that we were well prepared to weather economic storms, like the one we are navigating through right now. As we move forward with historically low interest rates, our net interest margin will be challenged and will likely result in lower earnings for 2020 and 2021. But through these times, we expect to continue to meet your financial needs while maintaining the safety and soundness that your credit union has experienced through our entire history. Please know the board and management team are working diligently to adapt to changing conditions and new ways to meet your needs while keeping you and our employees safe. Our capital is strong and our team is well prepared to produce the best possible financial results during these uncertain times. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Could I ask for a motion to accept the Chief Financial Officer's report?
We have a motion from Anthony Rinaldi Jr.
Thank you. Is there a second?
We have a second from Roberta McCullough-Dews.
Any discussion on the motion?
Stan, we have a question. This will be directed toward Mike Stoddard. The question comes from William Dunsmore Jr. Can you provide some guidance about what is happening financially 2020 so far?
So far, 2020 has been an okay year. I don't think we're going to see it as high as last year, as high as 2019. But we still do expect a pretty solid year this year that will be, in pretty good shape. I think we prepared well, and so far this year has been okay. So I don't think we'll see $7 million in earnings, but we could be in that $5 to $6 million range.
We have a motion. We have a second. Is there further discussion? If not, please vote on the motion.
Stan, there is nothing else in the queue. We can proceed with the motion. The votes are in, and it's 65 yay and 0 nay.
The motion is carried. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a report of the Supervisory Committee. I would like to thank all of our Supervisory Committee members for their diligence, especially the committee chair, Chuck Vincelette. This year, the report will be delivered on behalf of the Supervisory Committee by James McGough, our independent audit firm, Wolf & Company. Jim.
Thank you, and good evening. Wolf & Company, as the independent auditor, it's our job to audit the credit union's financial statements annually, and we performed the 2019 audit. Wolf & Company does business with approximately 300 financial institutions. With so much change in 2020, we have to go back and think and remember what was happening in 2019 in order to give context to Greylock's financial statements. 2019 was a strong year by many measurements for the U.S. and for the credit union industry. Economic growth, as measured by the change in GDP, was 2.3%, which is significant because it's the 11th year of consecutive economic expansion, the longest on record. National unemployment was at a record low of 3.5%. The stock market, as measured by the change in the S&P 500, increased 28% in 2019. Based on statistics from the National Credit Union Administration, it was a strong year for credit unions. Membership grew to 120.4 trillion members belonging to a credit union. Total assets in the credit union system increased to 1.6 trillion, and the aggregate net worth of all credit unions was 11.4%, which is considered well capitalized. These are all very positive trends for 2019, and you can see these trends in your credit union's financial statements. The audited 2019 financial statements of Greylock show your credit union to be well capitalized with positive operational results. Loans increased 34 million or 3.3%, consistent with the trend that we have seen in our client base regionally. Total deposits increased 54 million or 5.3%. In terms of asset quality, loan delinquency fell below 1% of total loans at the end of 2019 compared to 1% the prior year. The credit union's delinquency ratio was well managed and continues to trend in a positive direction. Continued profitability. The credit union must maintain positive earnings in order to remain well capitalized as it grows. And in 2019, net income was 7.6 million. Capital or net worth, that equals the credit union's total assets minus liabilities. And it's one indicator of the health of your financial institution. As mentioned earlier, your credit union's capital position was 10.66% at December 2019. That was an increase of 8% in 2019. That's important. The National Credit Union Administration, the credit union's insurer and regulator, they consider a credit union to be well capitalized if the capital ratio is 7% of total assets. So your credit union at 10.66% capital ratio well exceeds the regulatory requirement. In dollars, this means you have over and above the required amount, $45 million above well capitalized. And again, that's important. It protects the credit union, allows for resiliency and continued growth. I think the management team of your credit union deserves a great deal of credit for managing the institution, expanding services to members, ensuring continued profitability, and fortifying the capital position of the credit union. This audit update, it does not include 2020 events. We're historians as auditors. We audit the financial statements after the end of the year. The unique and evolving situations caused by the pandemic is creating unique challenges for all financial institutions. Greylock Credit Union has a strong management team and is well capitalized to withstand financial stress.
Thank you, Jim, for that report. Could I ask for a motion to accept the Supervisory Committee's report?
We have a motion from Peter Lopez.
Thank you. Is there a second?
We have a second from Terry Zimba.
Any discussion?
There is no discussion.
Can we vote on the motion?
The votes are in, and it is 66 yeas and 0 nays.
The motion is carried. Thank you. Before we adjourn, I would like to thank the incredible Greylock team for all their great service and hard work, especially during these challenging times. I'd also like to thank everyone here for participating this evening and for being such great, loyal members. At this time, is there any other business to come before the membership?
There was a comment, Stan, from Louise Guy. She wanted to say thank you to the programs that Greylock has provided for the Pittsfield residents.
Thank you for that comment. It looks like we've addressed all the questions or shared the comments. Before we adjourn, I want to remind you that our next annual meeting will be in March. It seems like it's really soon, but remember, this meeting had to be postponed for 6 months. So now I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion from Ozias Vincelet.
Thank you. Is there a second?
We have a second from Peter Moranti.
Any discussion?
Stan? We don't have a question, but we do have a statement. The statement comes from Jennifer Downs. Thank you. This went smoother than some of my online classes. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Can we vote on this motion?
The votes are in. It is 64 yeas, 0 nays, and a final comment from George Bissell. Well done, team.
The motion carries and the meeting is adjourned. We will now inform you if you have won a door prize. Remember, these prizes will be mailed to you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for attending. Just a quick FYI, the lucky winners will be receiving gift cards that will be mailed to your current address on our system. So if you have recently moved and have not updated your address on your Greylock accounts, please contact us ASAP tomorrow so we can send out your gift card to the correct address. Okay, the lucky winners tonight are John Morelli, Dennis Powell, Judith Berghardt, Lexi Shemsky, William Densmore Jr., Merle Ferber, Janice Lucy, Marcia McWensky, Catherine Roy, and Peter White. Congratulations, everyone, and have a fabulous night.